Good morning, students. Today we have to see the topic unpaid seller and his rights. Under the Sale of Goods Act, we have dealt already with the definitions, the conditions and warranties, and the distinction between the sale and the agreement to sale. Now, the we have to see the most important topic is that unpaid seller and his rights. So it means that what rights available to the unpaid seller. If the seller is not paid, if there is a contract of a sale has been made between the seller and the buyer, and that buyer hasn't paid to seller, but the goods has been delivered, or what will happen in that case, or if the goods have been delivered to a carrier or a Warpinger or any mediator, then what will be the legal condition, what will be the legal status at that time, during that time when the seller is not paid. So let us see first of all the definition of unpaid seller. So any seller becomes unpaid when the whole of the price hasn't been paid, or the negotiable instrument received, negotiable instruments such as bill of exchange, check, etc., received as a payment becomes dishonored. म्हणजे बायरनं त्या व्यक्तीला सेलरला चेक दिलेला आहे, त्याच्याकडून गुड्स घेतलेले आहेत, पण तो चेक वटलेला नाही आहे, अशा केसेसमध्ये त्याला अनपेड सेलर असं आपण म्हणू शकतो. किंवा त्याची प्राईस जी काय आहे कॅश स्वरूपात ती सुद्धा त्या बायरनं दिलेली नाही आहे. सिम्पल आहे. सेलर आणि बायरच्या मध्ये करार झालेला आहे. त्या करारान्वये सेलरनं बायरला काही प्रॉपर्टी डिलिव्हर केलेली आहे, म्हणजे विक्री केलेली आहे, पण अजून बायरनं त्याला पैसे दिलेले नाहीत, किंवा जर त्यानं चेक दिलेला असेल तर तो चेक वटलेला नाही आहे. त्यामुळे अशा स्थितीमध्ये त्या सेलरला आपण अनपेड सेलर असं म्हणतो. आता अशा केसेसमध्ये त्या सेलरचे राईट्स काय असणार आहेत, अनपेड सेलरला काय काय राईट्स असणार आहेत, काय अधिकार असणार आहेत, तर ते आपण पाहायचं आहे. सेक्शन 45 ऑफ द ॲक्ट लेज डाऊन दॅट द सेलर इज अनपेड वेन द होल ऑफ द प्राइस हॅझंट बीन पेड or tendered, or when a negotiable instrument hasn't been received as a conditional payment, or it has been dishonored. So following conditions must be fulfilled for the purpose of becoming seller, or when we can, in this case we can deem seller to be unpaid when following conditions must be or may be fulfilled. First is the price of the goods sold must be due but not paid. He must have immediate right of action for the price. Means what? The seller must have immediate right of action for the price. And a bill of exchange or check or any other negotiable instrument was received, but it was at the same time dishonored. So these are the three conditions that must be followed or complied with at the time of sale, contract of a sale. So in this case we can call a seller is unpaid. So when the payment is made by a negotiable instrument, it is usually a conditional payment. Condition being that the instrument shall be duly honored. And if it is dishonored, then automatically that seller would be called unpaid seller. Now what are the rights of unpaid seller? So there are rights, various types of rights. Rights of unpaid seller can be classified as rights against the goods, that is called jus in rem, right against goods or property. So wherein again three rights have been given, three rights have been given to him under this head, that is the right against goods. What can seller do against his goods that has been tendered or that has been tendered to the buyer? So he has some rights against relating to the goods. So right against the goods, again right against the buyer personally, this is the second right. Right against the goods also subdivided into where the property in the goods has been passed and where the property in the goods hasn't been passed. म्हणजे जर प्रॉपर्टी इन द गुड्स फॉर्ममध्ये असणारी प्रॉपर्टी पास झालेली आहे, सेलरकडून बायरकडे डिलिव्हर झालेली आहे, अशा केसमध्ये त्याचे अधिकार काय असतील, आणि प्रॉपर्टी अजून पास व्हायची आहे, डिलिव्हर व्हायची आहे, अशा केसेसमध्ये त्याचे अधिकार काय असतील. आणि राईट्स अगेन्स्ट द बायर पर्सनली, म्हणजे पर्सनल लेवलला त्या बायरच्या विरोधात त्या सेलरला काय काय अधिकार असू शकतात. त्यामुळे दोन महत्त्वाचे राईट्स आहेत. एक म्हणजे राईट अगेन्स्ट द गुड्स, म्हणजे गुड्सच्या संबंधातले अधिकार, आणि दुसरं म्हणजे त्या बायरच्या विरोधात करावयाच्या किंवा घेण्याच्या ॲक्शन्स किंवा त्या संदर्भातले अधिकार. हे दोनच महत्त्वाचे अधिकार आहेत. आता राईट्स अगेन्स्ट द बायर पर्सनली त्याच्यामध्ये सेलरला सूट फॉर प्राइस, सूट फॉर डॅमेजेस अँड रेप्युटेशन ऑफ अ कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट अँड सूट फॉर इंटरेस्ट, अशा प्रकारचे 4 अधिकार आहेत. तर सर्वात प्रथम आपण पाहूया राईट अगेन्स्ट गुड्स, ज्यूस इन रेंट, राईट अगेन्स्ट गुड्स ऑर प्रॉपर्टी इन द गुड्स. त्याच्यामध्ये राईट ऑफ लीन आहे, राईट ऑफ स्टॉपेज इन ट्रान्झिट आहे आणि राईट ऑफ रिसेल. हे 3 अधिकार राईट अगेन्स्ट गुड्समध्ये त्या अनपेड सेलरला प्राप्त होतात. आता आपण पाहूया राईट ऑफ लीन म्हणजे काय. राईट्स ऑफ अनपेड सेलर अगेन्स्ट द गुड्स, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण राईट ऑफ लीन पाहूया. वेअर द प्रॉपर्टी इन द गुड्स हॅज पास टू द बायर अँड अनपेड सेलर हॅज following 3 rights. One is right to lien, second is right to stoppage in transit, and third one right to resale of the goods. Now let us see the right of lien. So section 47 to 49 of the Sale of Goods Act deals with this. So it describes the circumstances which an unpaid seller may exercise his right of lien. So under which circumstances the unpaid seller can exercise his right of lien. Lien म्हणजे धारणाधिकार, धारण करणे. A lien is a right to retain possession of goods until the price is paid. म्हणजे जोपर्यंत पैसा मिळत नाही, जोपर्यंत प्राइस मिळत नाही, किंमत मिळत नाही, तोपर्यंत ते गुड्स धरून ठेवणं, होल्ड करणं, विथहोल्ड करण्याचा अधिकार हा सेलरचा म्हणजेच अनपेड सेलरचा असणार आहे. The unpaid seller who is in possession of the goods can retain possession until the payment or tender of the price in the following cases. Namely, the goods have been sold without any stipulation as to credit. Second, the goods have been sold on credit, but the terms of the credit has expired. Third one, the buyer becomes insolvent. So under these 3 circumstances, the seller can possess or retain possession of the goods in the form of property or the property in the form of goods until the payment or tender of the price to be paid to the seller. So what are these 3 circumstances? One is the goods have been sold without any stipulation as to credit. Second, the goods have been sold on credit, but the terms of the credit has expired. And third one, the buyer becomes insolvent. So under these circumstances, right of lien can be exercised by the unpaid seller. Now we'll have to see the rules relating to the lien. So when unpaid seller can retain the lien on that property in the form of goods. So first rule is, these are very important rules. First rule is the unpaid seller may exercise his right of lien notwithstanding that he is in possession of goods as agent or bailey for the buyer. The right of lien, second point, the right of lien depends on actual possession of goods and not the title to the goods. Third one, the lien can be exercised by unpaid seller only for the price and not for the other charges. So under these are some rules relating to lien. Means what? When the unpaid seller wants to keep a lien upon the goods not delivered to the buyer. So these are the 4 rules keep in mind at that time of retaining the lien. And fourth one, in case of a part delivery, suppose part delivery has been happened, the unpaid seller can exercise right of lien on the remaining of goods in his possession. म्हणजे जेवढं असं समजा पूर्ण एक 100 पोती डिलिव्हर करायचे आहेत, त्यामधले फक्त 25 पोती डिलिव्हर केलेले आहेत बाहेरला आणि अजून त्याचे पैसे आलेले नाहीत, अशा केसेसमध्ये राहिलेले जे 75 पोती आहेत त्याच्यावर लीनचा अधिकार हा अनपेड सेलर दाखवू शकतो किंवा रिटेन करू शकतो. So a lien is the right of retaining possession of the goods until the price is paid. It is essentially a right over the property of another. The right of lien is indivisible in nature. Hence the buyer cannot claim delivery of the portion of the goods on payment of a proportionate price. Now what are the rules regarding the termination of a lien? It means if an unpaid seller has kept a lien upon the property, then under what circumstances this lien can be terminated. So it is very simple. Lien can be terminated when he delivers goods to the carrier or other bailey for the purpose of transmission to the buyer. So it means when the buyer already has been paid, automatically seller delivers the goods in the hands of the carrier or other bailey or other transporters, or when the buyer or his agent lawfully obtains possession of the goods. when he waives his right of lien over the goods. He may waive his right expressly or impliedly. So under these circumstances, termination of a lien can be happened or occur. Second right, we have to see right of stoppage in transit. So we are dealing with the three rights under the heads when the property in the goods has been passed to the buyer, and the right against the goods under the head right against the goods. We are seeing this. So second right, sub right, is that right of stoppage in transit. म्हणजे गुड्स तुम्ही पाठवलेला आहात, माल पाठवणी झालेली आहे, ट्रान्झिटमध्ये आहे, म्हणजे ट्रॅव्हलिंगमध्ये आहे, आणि अशा काळात तुम्ही तो स्टॉप करू शकता. राईट ऑफ स्टॉपेज in transit. So section 50 to 52 deals with this. This is the second important right of the unpaid seller against the goods. It is right of stopping the goods in the transit after the unpaid seller has parted with the goods or possession of the goods. The purpose is to resume or regain the possession of goods and retain them till the price is paid. The right is available to unpaid seller under the following circumstances. 1. The seller must be unpaid. The seller must have parted with the goods. The buyer becomes insolvent. The property must have been passed from the seller to the buyer. So under these circumstances only, the seller has a right to stop the goods that is already in transit or that is already traveling to the destination of the buyer. Now third right is right of resale. Right of resale means what? Unpaid seller can resell the property in the goods if he is not paid by the buyer at the right moment, at the right time. Then he can deliver the goods, sell the goods, resell the goods to third party also. He has his own exclusive right available to the seller. In addition to the right of lien and right to stoppage in transit, the unpaid seller has got a valuable right of resale of the goods. Section 54 of the Act confers this right to the unpaid seller under some circumstances. This right of resale may be exercised in the following cases. 1. Perishable goods. Where the goods are of a perishable nature, the unpaid seller need not give a notice to the buyer of his intention to resell the goods. He can resell the goods without giving any notice to the buyer. समजा दूध किंवा दुधाचे पदार्थ जे नाशवंत आहेत असे पदार्थ मी सेल केलेले आहेत आणि बायरनं मला पैसे दिलेले नाहीत, मी ते मालाची पाठवणी केलेली आहे. अशा केसमध्ये जर त्याचे पैसे मला मिळत नसतील तर सदरचे गुड्स मी त्या बायरला विकण्यापेक्षा दुसऱ्या बायरला थर्ड पार्टीला विकू शकतो. कारण काय देऊ शकतो तर सदरचे गुड्स, सदरचा माल हा पेरिशेबल नेचरचा आहे, नाशवंत आहे. Notice to the buyer, where he gives a notice to the buyer of his intention to resell the goods and the buyer doesn't within a reasonable time pay or tender the price. So right of resale कधी अवेलेबल आहे? जेव्हा पेरिशेबल गुड्स आहेत. दुसरं म्हणजे बायरला त्यांनी नोटीस दिलेलं आहे, पण बायरनं त्या नोटिसीच्या कालावधीमध्ये पैसे पे केलेले नाहीत. म्हणजे तुम्हाला आम्ही गुड्स विकलेले आहे, तुम्हाला मी नोटीस देतोय की तुम्ही त्या 5 दिवसामध्ये 10 दिवसामध्ये तुमचे काही जे पैसे आहेत, प्राइस आहे ती परत करावी किंवा ती परत द्यावी किंवा ती डिलिव्हर करावी, टेंडर करावी, रेंडर करावी, व्हॉट एव्हर इट मे बी. तर ती प्राइस जर त्या बायरनं सेलरला विदिन टाइम स्टिप्युलेटेड टाइम पिरियड नॉट गिवन, देन ऑटोमॅटिकली the seller has a unpaid seller has a right to resell the goods to a third party. So these are the rights we have discussed when the rights relating to the rights of unpaid seller against the goods and where the property in the goods has been passed. So under these headings we have seen the right to lien, right to stoppage in transit and right to resale. Now what will happen if the proper rights against the goods, if the property in the goods has not been passed? It is already with the seller. It's not been passed to the buyer, only the contract has been made. Under these cases, the seller can withhold delivery and he can also stoppage the goods if the already goods have been sent into the transit. So he can withhold the goods and he can stop the goods in transit if already he is transited. And now we'll have to see now we'll stop here In the next lecture, we'll see the his second right, that is right against personal rights against buyer, or rights of unpaid seller against the buyer personally. Or it is very short. Let us see. I'll finish it in this video lecture. So unpaid seller, in addition to the rights of unpaid seller against the goods, the unpaid seller has the following rights. One is suit for price, second is suit for interest, say third one is a suit for damages or a compensation for non-acceptance, and fourth one is repudiation of a contract before due date. So when property has been passed where under a contract of a sale, the property in the goods has passed to the buyer and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay money or price for the goods, the unpaid seller may sue him, may file a suit against him for the price of the goods. Where property has not been passed, what will happen? Let us see. Where under the contract of a sale, the price is payable on a certain day irrespective of delivery, and the buyer wrongfully neglects or refuses to pay the price, the seller can sue for the price. Second right is that suit for price, suit for interest. When there is a contract between the parties as to the payment of interest on the price of the goods from the date on which payment becomes due, the seller may recover interest also from the buyer. The court also in this matter award interest on the price not paid or delayed payment to the seller. The rate of interest may be at the discretion of the court of law. Third right is suit for damages for non-acceptance. So where under or where the buyer wrongfully refuses or neglects to accept and pay the goods, pay for those goods, the seller may sue him or file a suit against the buyer for damages for non-acceptance of the goods and non-payment of the price. The measure of damages is determined by the provisions of the Indian Contract Act. So remoteness of damages, actual loss caused. So damages will be depend upon these two circumstances, two conditions, and it has been discussed earlier under the chapter damages under the Contract Act. So repudiation of the contract before the due date. The fourth right is cancellation of the contract before due date. Section 60 of the Act deals with this repudiation of the or cancellation of the contract, where the buyer repudiates the the contract before the date of delivery or performance of the contract, the seller may either treat the contract alive and wait till the date of performance or delivery, or second, treat the contract as broken and sue for the damages for breach of a contract. It is an anticipatory breach of a contract. So today we have discussed with the unpaid seller's rights, so especially two rights, right against goods and rights against the buyer personally. So remedies, what are the remedies for a breach of a contract of a sale? Under the breach of a contract of a sale, the seller has some remedies available: suit for price, suit for damages for non-acceptance of goods, suit for damages for repudiation of a contract, suit for interest. So what will happen when the breach of a contract of a sale will happen on the part of the buyer? So already we have discussed the rights of the unpaid seller. These are the same rights available to the seller. These are the remedies also available to the seller: suit for price, suit for damages or compensation, suit for damages for repudiation of a contract, or suit for interest. Now what will the remedies available to the buyer if the contract of a sale has been broken by the seller? Then buyer also can file a suit for damages for non-delivery of the goods by the seller. He can also file a suit for specific performance of the contract. Third one, he also can file a suit for breach of warranty, suit for damages for repudiation of a contract by the seller, and suit for interest. So the same rights available to the buyer also in case of the default has been made by the seller, or in case of the breach or the violation of the terms and conditions of the contract of a sale has been made by the seller. So this is what we have discussed today: the seller's rights, unpaid seller's rights against the goods, against the personally against the buyer, and we have also seen the remedies for breach of a contract of a sale available to the seller and available to the buyer also. Seller has the same rights, buyer has also same rights for the damages, specific performance, breach of warranty, and interest. So same rights available against each other in case of a default made by each other. So this is what we have today discussed. This was a very important topic. The question will be asked in an examination that define the unpaid seller and explain his rights or unpaid seller's rights. So please go through the reading books, read it, and if you have any doubt or query, then you feel free to contact me or call me or WhatsApp me. Thank you very much.